ツマンおじ今日のニュースを読みます。Reuters U.S. coffee drinkers pay higher prices even after Trump's tariff reset. Summary: Tariff costs still trickling through the supply chain, experts say. 9 months lag for raw bean prices to filter through the store. Lag leaves Trump with fewer levers to pull ahead of midterm. London, December 19. U.S. coffee lovers hoping President Donald Trump's tariff rollbacks last month will soon lower the cost of their daily caffeine hit had better think again. The widespread import tariff imposed by Trump mostly over the summer, which included top coffee producers such as Brazil, boosted the prices of raw coffee beans. But the added costs are mostly still filtering through the supply chain, have yet to reach consumers, according to broker, traders, and industry experts. High U.S. retail coffee prices have, in other words, been driven mostly by last year's coffee bean supply shortage, which spurred the doubling in raw bean prices in the 12 months to March. Most of the retail price increases we've seen so far were not the response to tariff. They are associated with the record high raw bean market that we've been in since last year, said independent coffee analyst Christopher Foreign. Foreign and other industry experts estimate it takes at least 9 months for raw bean prices to filter through the coffee drinkers, partly due to roasting times and price negotiation, meaning it could be well into next year before prices retreat. Coffee drinkers in the U.S., the world's biggest coffee consumer, would have to swallow higher prices for longer, and the White House will have a tricky job trying to cool food inflation before the U.S. 2026 November midterm. Trump, under pressure from the Democrat wins in the New Jersey, New York, and Virginia, linked to voter frustration of the rising food prices last month, rolled back reciprocal tariff of between 10 to 41% on over 200 food items that cannot easily be grown in America, such as coffee. He also exempted non-native food items from the additional 40% tariff on imports from Brazil, which supplied the U.S. with around a third of its bean. Coffee prices rise more quickly than they fall. Raw bean prices account for at least 40% of the cost of producing a bag of roast and ground coffee. They rose sharply last year as the market was unable to bounce back from three seasons of production deficit linked to adverse weather. Mostly industry experts expected a coffee production surplus in the current and upcoming 2025-26 and the 2026-27 October to September season, which should, alongside tariff removal, soften raw bean prices and eventually feed through to U.S. consumers. But this will take time, analysis said, because U.S. roasters typically hold about 2 to 3 months worth of bean stocks in average and need another 2 to 3 months to roast and packaging their products. They also tend to negotiate prices with retailers only on a quarterly basis. In other words, very little of the 18.8% rise in U.S. retail coffee prices in the years to November is due to tariff, and the near 35% 6% rise in raw bean prices between August and November, when most of Trump's tariffs were in place, is still to hit the coffee on supermarket shelves. Also, since Trump's tariff reversed, raw bean prices have fallen just 6%. Coffee prices rise more quickly than they fall, said Stephen Walter Thomas, the CEO of mid-size, US-based importer Lucatelli Coffee, pointing to the muted price reaction since the tariff removal. Slow rates of price increases. Trump's tariff rollback is, however, slowing down the rate of price increases near term. In late November, day after tariff on Brazil coffee imports were removed, J.M. Smoker, the parent company of Folger Coffee, said it would no longer consider winter price rise to cover its tariff cost. It said it was maintaining a $0.5 unfavorable impact on this fiscal year's earnings per share as a result. We are very pleased that tariffs are going, but it's not enough to bring the market down, said the head of mid-sized U.S. roaster. He said that, if anything, while his firm is done raising prices, he expected large roasters, which negotiate less frequently with retailers, to still raise prices next year. Raw bean prices are elevated. The consumer doesn't realize this. They think only about the tariff. 以上です。